Come on, guys, you can do it. You can do it. Hey, it's me, Cisco Morrison. Here's what's coming up on Gardening with Cisco. You can do it, guys. It's pea planting time. We're planting some that don't need stakes. From cat-proof fences to kitty containers, we'll show you how to make your garden a haven for your feline friends. We're cooking with rhubarb. Lynn Villa will show us how to whip up sauce, pickles, and tarts. Our plant pick is perfect for espalier and it produces tasty berries to boot. All this and more coming up on Gardening with Cisco. Hi, I'm Cisco Morris.
And I'm Megan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Cisco.
Today we're at Emery's Garden here in Linwood. I love this nursery.
Adorable.
Great plants. They have all kinds of classes. I've, of course, taught here before.
Of course.
And look at this seed selection.
I know.
You know, which is very apropos because it's finally time to get some of those seeds in the ground.
In fact, you showed me the perfect first seed to mark the beginning of spring. Bush peas, right now is the time to get out there and plant them so you can enjoy them throughout the
and
summer
these are a
months.
shelling pea. These are called Lincoln.
Oh.
And so you eat all those little ones in there. Oh,
They
I
are
love
so sweet. But we're doing wide space planting.
It's a whole new kind of plant, and we'll show everybody how to do it.
Okay.
And you can only do this with like bush peas. First, we need to fertilize. So I've got some good organic vegetable food here. And don't have to mix this in too deep, but just get her in there. That'll be perfect.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
now if we just
this
smooth
baby
her
back out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And notice I have this mounded slightly.
Yes.
And I've worked a lot of compost in here.
Now, before we plant, we have to prepare the peas.
That's right. We want to add mycorrhizae to these. And you could buy special mycorrhizae that are good for peas. So I went to the nursery. I said, give me the mycorrhizae for peas, you know.
Look at that. It enhances nutrient and moisture uptake.
Yeah, it's a fungus. And they attach to the roots. And they send out these big long things that get all the nutrition out of the soil and give it to the plant.
So how much do we do?
Let's pour a bit in there.
Pour a bit, scientifically speaking.
There,
oh, look at that.
Yeah, a little more there. Good, okay. And now what we're gonna do is smush the peas around in there. Maybe pour a teensy bit of water in there, Megan, just a teens.
Holy cow.
Because what we wanna do, there, that's perfect. That way it'll adhere to the peas a little. You can throw a whole bunch of peas in there and we'll just kind of mix them up.
Interesting. So it kind of just looks like dirt.
Yeah, but it'll coat the peas. It'll help a lot. And sometimes I mix it into the soil, but a lot of times I just add it to the peas.
So just kind of make sure it...
Yeah, look at how they're getting nice and coated here. Now this wide space planting that we're about to do is so easy. Normally you always make your rows, and you've noticed we've always done north-south.
Right.
Because that's the best sun. But here what we're going to do is do them about every 2 inches. So just
random.
Doink, doink, and they got to be an inch deep.
And just start plunking them in.
Yep.
Wow.
And about every 2 inches, I actually was a little too far. And the nice thing is that you don't have to thin peas.
Oh.
Yep. They just kind of, they grow next to each other and they support each other. So I'll smooth these in now, Megan. You know, this is the easy part of this job. You know what the hard part is?
What's that?
We don't want any weeds growing up competing with these guys. So I've got to stay out here and keep weeding all the time. One last job that you always got to do.
Water the baby in.
Yep, and we got to make sure this stays moist.
So wide space?
Wide space planting. And it only works with bush peas. You don't want to try this with other kinds of
And as they get up
veggies.
a little high and you need to stake them a little bit, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, you just stick a stick next to them and they cling to that, you know.
How about that?
Bush peas are real easy. They're fun.
A new way, and don't forget the mycorrhizae as well.
Yeah, that's right. That makes a big difference.
Here's some more peas. You can
good.
keep going
All right,
down
I think
that
I'll
way.
head over this way now.
So if you're like my buddy here and you dump all the seeds into one spot and they get overcrowded, the good thing is you can pinch off those sprouts, put them in your salad. They taste great.
Yep, see, I'm a genius. That's why I dumped the whole packet in that row.
Yeah. You just cause more work for everyone. coming up next. Got kitties? Well, we've got some great ideas for how to make your garden a great place for them, from fencing to flea control. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Emery's Garden here in Linwood. You know, we're always hearing about dog-friendly gardening, and most people want to get the cats out of their garden.
Isn't that true?
But we can't discriminate. There are people who really love cats, and they want to make their gardens friendly for them, and our next segment is going to show you how to do it.
Ooh, that made me think of my favorite cat
What?
joke. How come cats don't play poker in the jungle?
I don't know.
Too many cheetahs.
Ah, you're a goober. Here's the perfect way to transform your landscape to please your feline friends. Some gardeners want to keep cats out, but a lot of other gardeners want to keep their cats in. Hendrika Schraven adores his cats and has landscaped his entire backyard with them in mind. He also designs pet gardens for his clients, and the first step is always the same.
You have to psych out your pets. You have to put yourself in the cat. You have to put yourself in the dog. What is a cat going to do? What is a dog going to do? You have to outthink them because they are very capable.
First order of business, security.
So what we did is this fence. This is like vinyl coated chain link. This is all cedar, and that's of course also treated with our cedar oil so it won't rot. And what we have is this goes all the way down. They have good supports. Then our chain link fence goes all the way underneath here and into the ground about a good 1.5 feet.
So nobody's digging out. What about climbing out?
Say they came up here, now what? This is up in an angle and it has copper tubing. There's no way for them to claw onto that copper tubing.
Weights make the gates close by themselves. And the cat-proof cap on the deck railing also helps foil escapees.
So we put this copper triangle on here, and there's no way for the kitties to actually walk on here or sit on here or even attempt to jump out.
Don't tell these guys, but this place is a regular kitty Alcatraz. The cats don't mind captivity because there's so much for them to do here. A broken container is recycled into a cat cave.
They like to crawl into things. They love the secretness of stuff. They're like little children. You know, there's excitement around every corner.
Rocks warm up in the sun and serve as kitty lounges.
It's a catio.
And there's a cats-only deck above with bar space so they can't fall off. Even the litter box is a decorative part of the landscape.
Okay, so of course, great landscape, looks really cool, lots of areas to play, and then of course, where do they go to the bathroom? So there, a corner, it's also kind of play, but the sand corner is where they go and poop, and they actually all go there. They do not go in the garden at all.
And though they have 5 cats, Hendrika and his wife Tina have been able to beat the fleas naturally.
Well, we haven't had fleas on our kitties in over 10 years. We took our cedar oil product and sprayed every single surface. The soil, the lawn, the stone, everything, the decks, because it doesn't stain. It's a natural product, but it's like cedar. Bugs don't like it. The fleas will not come in here.
Hendrikas enjoys building pet-friendly landscapes because he believes all domestic animals should be able to safely enjoy the outdoors in fine style.
And my wife and me obviously just love our cats.
If you would like to learn more about cat-friendly gardening, head off to our website, king5.com, and we'll hook you up with the folks who can do just that.
Up next, I'm in the kitchen getting tips on rhubarb sauce, pickles, and tarts. It must be spring. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Emery's Garden in Linwood, where, oh, Megan, I'm so excited.
Wow.
Look, the rhubarb is starting to bud. It's so cute. It's so cute, it's ugly.
And it is a little ugly, but I like what it represents, and that is the fact that spring has sprung.
No, that's not what it represents.
What?
It represents rhubarb tart. Wait till you see what Lynn Villa came up with. Okay, Lynn, we've got a psychic connection going here because I just saw rhubarb budding up in my garden, and I love to live it to eat a lot of that stuff.
Me too. You know, rhubarb to me is a harbinger of spring. It's sweet, and it's the first thing that gives us some color. So what we're going to do today is kind of a rhubarb 101. Because there's a lot of different things you can do with rhubarb, and it's a little bit intimidating when you get these big long stalks, and it's kind of sour. So what I like to do is just I'll walk you through a couple of dishes that I like to prepare.
Oh boy.
Okay. So if you just want to make a classic rhubarb sauce, you want to take the stalks of rhubarb and cut them really thin across the grain. So when they cook down, they don't have a lot of stringiness to them. Okay, so that's number one.
Oh, I could see that on
Isn't that beautiful?
screen.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of my favorite things to do with rhubarb is pickles, rhubarb pickles, and we'll put this recipe on the
Rhubarb
website.
pickles?
Yeah. So you take the rhubarb and you cut it at a long diagonal across the grain, and then we put it in a little spicy syrup, and we'll talk about that on the web. Okay. And then today we're going to make rhubarb tarts. Okay, which is one of this is what you're gonna love. I did this for you. Okay, so in that case, we're gonna cut the rhubarb into little chunks. Okay, little square chunks, and then I've got a little sugar mixed with a little bit of arrowroot powder here. Why don't you go ahead and toss those together?
Okay.
And I'll bring our pastry across. Just set those aside.
Get that on there real good.
Yeah, and I find it works if you toss the arrowroot with the sugar, it distributes it more evenly. These are going to get very juicy when they cook. So the arrowroot will just kind of help to thicken up the juices just a little bit. That looks gorgeous. Okay. So these are puff pastry squares. This is Aussie Bakery puff pastry. And you probably know I love me some puff pastry.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Basically, puff pastry makes the world an easier place.
Oh, yes.
So what we've done is cut it into squares, and then I'm going to brush a little egg wash on here. That's to give us a little gloss and a little glue simultaneously. And then these are very, very rustic pastries. We're not going to trim the edges. We're not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take this rhubarb filling and just put a little bit right in the center there. You don't want to pile it too high because you'd want to make sure that the rhubarb gets exposed to enough heat that it gets tender all the way through as it cooks. You want the rhubarb ideally to cook in the same amount of time that the puff pastry cooks, right? That makes sense.
Okay, so you don't want them hidden underneath the little corners and crannies.
So then what we're going to do here is just form our pastry. And the way we're going to do that is keeping in mind that these are going to get juicy, so juice is going to spill. So what you're going to do is we're going to kind of bring our edges up around like this. You don't want to cover the rhubarb completely. You want to leave it exposed. But then what you want to do is you want to go back around and kind of smash these edges down. The puff pastry gets really soft before it gets crisp, and it tends to want to flop out. So we're going to ensure that it settles in.
Wow, and it's kind of elegant.
I know, isn't it? Yeah. There is elegance in rusticity.
So you just kind of twist over like
because it doesn't matter.
This one's going to be really rustic. I can see that already. Holy cats. Hey, I'm getting it down here.
You are. Look at that. We're not going to know whose is whose.
We may.
I know. Oh, wow.
Hey, that one doesn't quite look like yours. All right, here.
Now it's perfect.
There's the perfect time.
Yay. Gorgeous. All right, we'll do it.
That didn't take long at all. Oh, my gosh. Hey, which one did I do?
Oh, I'm sure I can't tell.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, am I proud or what? How about that?
Wow, don't those look good?
Oh,
what do you say we...
Oh, hey, it's time.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, but one more second.
Oh,
You know,
I'll wait for this.
I've got his number. I know you love
You know
this.
what I love, don't you?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, a little more.
Oh, okay, a little more.
Okay, baby.
I still love that. Look at you, good cream all over his mouth. Isn't that so cute?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's elegant, it's rustic, and it's delicious. Oh, man, spring, come on. I want my rhubarb. So meet Megan, do
Yeah?
you know where the rhubarb pie capital of the world is?
I just happened to because I've had a piece down there. Sumner, Washington. How about that?
How about
I was
that?
about to say, how about them apples, but that's not quite right.
Well, you know, it's so cool because it's locally grown. So get a bunch of rhubarb and make that rhubarb tart, but just smother it with whipped cream. Oh, la la.
You lucky duck. Up next, it's a plant pick and a project all in one. Check out this berry that's perfect to espalier. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Emery's Garden up here in Linwood. Now today's plant pick is a berry bush that thrives in a cooler climate, and it's got the coolest little bell-shaped flowers.
Yeah, but oh, baby, this baby will give you pucker power. It is so sour. But it makes a great espalier, too.
So, a gooseberry. See, I wanted to espalier something against the back fence here, but unlike Ciscoe, I don't buy the plant already espaliered. I'm up for a good challenge.
Oh, man.
So they recommended a gooseberry, and you know, she pulled it up on the internet, and it looks really pretty with this kind of yellowish green flowers. It gets berries, these pink berries on it that you can eat them. So to espalier, you want it right up against the fence line.
Right up against, as close as we can. So that's what we're going to do. Take a nice big hole right here. And gooseberries need full sun. A lot of people from Europe really love them, but you don't see them much in the States. Hardly anybody ever grows them.
Oh, look at these nice roots on this baby. I think we're in good shape here. I'm looking at this plant, and since we're espaliering, it's flat on this side. So I think I want this side up against the...
Good idea, yeah. Yeah, because we...
Let's see how you did here. Oh, perfect.
Oh,
But you know what?
not
I
bad.
see these little suckers. Do we want to get rid of
Yeah,
these?
yeah, let's cut those off
Before we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Maybe
ahead,
I can
yeah.
get in there.
Get them right to the ground. And they tend to send up little suckers. And you may want some extra growth on this so you can leave them later on once, you know, you see how
figure
it
out
all
what I'm
settles
doing,
in.
yeah.
Yep. There, I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
And maybe this, that like that, just a little more. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Let's put them in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
So now.
Now to espalier it, you know, so the trick with the espalier is, of course, we're going to have to tie it in some way
Right.
so that it stays where we want it to go.
So what I have are these little hooks.
Perfect.
I like to put them into the fence and then tie them back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking right about here. And
Cool.
these guys, I just stick them between the fence.
Oh, what a neat idea.
Isn't that great? So I have a little string. I could not find my twine, which is what I like to use because it's more the color of the fence, but
Yeah.
couldn't find it. So we're going to use a little piece of string.
Yeah,
Let's
whatever
see.
works, you know.
Here you go.
And one thing I want to remind people of is that you don't want to tie it tight around the
Right.
stem because that just kind of causes a lot of trouble. So
The prickers appear to be only really on the suckers or on the lower part
that's
of
right.
it.
There's almost no prickers on the main stems at all. There we go.
So he's going to be loosely espaliered.
Yeah, and then as new suckers come up,
Right.
I think it'll get easier and easier to tighten it up where we want it to.
So this is all we have to do?
No, we got to trim it up because we don't
Oh.
want these things in the front
Yeah.
coming up, you know, so we're going to want to
look
take
at
that off.
That's looking more like an
Yeah,
espalier
see,
now.
and now one last warning I want to give to people.
What?
These tend to do is they grow up and then they bend down over time. And, you know, so if it came untightening, if it hits the ground, a new gooseberry grows.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, and so you could end up with the biggest gooseberry patch you've ever seen. So we want to make sure that we don't let these go back and hit the ground. Maybe not this fall, but next fall I expect to have an Irish gooseberry tart waiting for me for all this work I just did.
I guess I'll have to start searching on the internet for a recipe.
And you can find those gooseberries at most major nurseries.
Thanks a lot for watching Gardening with Ciscoe today from Emery's Garden. This nursery originally was owned by a Japanese family that started it back in 1963. It still has a magnificent Japanese garden. They're open 7 days a week, devoted to environmentally sound gardening practices and a great place to find anything you need for your garden.
For more information about anything you saw in the show today, particularly that rhubarb tart, I can't wait to make it. Head off to our website, king5.com, click on Gardening with Cisco.
Yeah, now go to your nursery, find something incredible for spring, because spring is here. It's time to celebrate.
And it's about time. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye, everyone.